Rocky the Flying Squirrel in a Geico commercial. So, Matthew 24. And Jesus went out and departed from the temple after he had raked the Pharisees over the coals and had to come to Jesus' meeting. And his disciples came up to show him the buildings of the temple. And Jesus said, "Do you not see all of these things? Assuredly I say to you, not one stone shall be left here upon another that shall not be thrown down." Now as he sat on the Mount of Olives, the disciples came to him privately, saying, "Tell us what these things will be, and what will be the sign of your coming and the end of the age." And Jesus answered and said to them, "Take heed that no one deceives you, for many will come in my name, saying, I am the Christ, and will deceive many, and you will hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you are not troubled, for all of these things must come to pass, but the end is not quite yet. For nation will rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom. There will be famines, pestilences, and earthquakes in various places. All these are the beginnings of sorrows. And they will deliver you up to tribulation and kill you. And you'll be hated by all nations for my name's sake. And then many will be offended, and will betray one another, and will hate one another. And many false prophets will rise up and deceive many. And because of the lawlessness will abound, the love of many will grow cold. But he who endures to the end shall be saved. And this gospel of the kingdom will be preached in all the world as a witness to all the nations, and then the end will come. There's a reason I read that portion all together, and I probably was going to read the rest of the chapter, or the rest of the segment, but I wanted to read that segment all together because it all kind of ties together, and it often gets read as a list of steps of things that have to happen before the end comes. Jesus talks about, he goes outside, leaves from the temple. His disciples came to show him the buildings of the temple, and Jesus says, none of these will be standing. Everything is going to be thrown down. Everything is going to be thrown down. When you think about what is coming and what has already come, because Jesus is describing not only events that will happen in our future, but events that were going to happen in he and his disciples' future. At some point, we have to get to the place where we understand that there are certain things that are around us that are not going to be that way permanently. We have to understand that there are few things in this world that are truly permanent. You have been given this season to unpack this season against the seasons that are coming. And if you do not unpack this season, everything that he has for you for this season, you will not be prepared for the next season, because he designed you to unpack everything that he has for you to unpack in this season so that you can use it in the next season. We unearth raw materials from the ground, we refine those materials, we forge them, and we shape them into a tool or an instrument or a weapon or a utensil, for example. And then we take those utensils with us that came from the raw materials into the next season. But if we don't get through the hard work of digging and pickaxing and drilling that's necessary, we will not get to the raw materials that are already in us. And then we'll spend all this time saying, well, I want what he has. I want what she has. And that kind of nonsense does not unpack what you have inside of you. Piddle farting around, spending your life piddle farting, does not achieve what the Lord has for you. Those books will not write themselves. That building will not build itself. That plane will not fly itself. That boat will not steer itself. In order for you to actually work in certain of these jobs, you have to learn how to fly a boat, how to drive a
How to fly a boat.
how to drive
airplanes
how to drive a boat and how to fly a plane. It's your responsibility. It could be that if you do not fly the boat, drive the plane. You know what I'm saying? That you will not come into possession of what you're supposed to do. And you'll have to walk the way you want. And then you'll say, oh, the Lord must not have had it. The Lord didn't have it for you because you didn't get off your butt and do something about it.
It's true. I've seen believers that were so consumed with, well, God didn't present it to me, so therefore He didn't have it for me. They're looking for the finished product. God like drop a finished product on their lap. They didn't stop and realize that God had given them a whole lot of the raw materials and a whole lot of tools and a whole lot of opportunities to get some learning and build it and put it together and get the earned authority to do it. And they didn't do it because God didn't show up in the way they were expecting.
At least one of you is going to spend a stint in the military and is called to the military. I can flat out say that. I have that wisdom. And sooner or later, the military is going to cease to exist because the king is going to be present. But the military is a stopping point that helps you unpack certain skills that you will have, so that by the time the institution of the military is no more, you will have taken the skills with you. There are certain buildings that the Lord has decreed destruction to in about 20 years' time, but there are skills that are inside that building that you need. I'm not sending you into the world to go to a Christian high school or a Christian college or a Christian university and a Christian seminary that has no relevance to the outside world, so that you don't actually understand what you're getting yourself into. I went to a 4-year state school and got more of the Holy Spirit than I could have ever done going to a Bible college. And I rubbed elbows on an hourly basis with the world. And everybody knew me on campus. Everybody. Gang, these buildings will not last. You need to go into these buildings, grab the skills, the raw materials, unpack yourself, and come out, so that by the time those buildings are demolished, you have the skills. That is all I have to say about that. Gang, we bless you to consider well what was said here. And we bless you for the purposes to which God has called you, and we bless you to take advantage of everything in this season that God has for you in future seasons. We bless you. Amen.
Amen.